Personal box. Pokemon. Go. Oh, don't put your name at the top. Gotcha. How about that? That work? Okay. Gotcha. Well, now that I actually have an idea of what I'm doing with this will go a little bit smoother. No, no, it's not. And Negro Montoya. You killed my father. Okay, die. That's good. Alright. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to get my wrists to pivot properly. These ones, unfortunately, I do have to lean forward and look because the little thing I am looking for is so dang small. I love it. No. Probably should have shown what that was, huh? Wow, right off the bat. Sounds like you have a very understanding wife. Stone Journer. Alright, just lightly tapping to get it down in the one. Ah. 205 of 202. Rapid dash. Is Ben still on? No, he was on earlier. I think Durango went live too, didn't he? Alright. Grabby. Ninetales. Two for two. I'll take it. Ghastly. Wheezing. I like wheezing. Mudsdale. Sorry, there was two cards there. Hitmonlee. Another OG. Professor Research. Pikachu. Anaconda. Sojourner. Side. Right, short print. Alright, Richie. I'll talk to you later, hon, okay? Stay safe. We'll see you later. That one looks like it's crocheted out of something. Blurry. Oracle thing. Dennis still on? I haven't heard from him in a while. He's been like quiet. I'm gonna turn that off because, in all honesty, just saying 0. I think the less stuff I have up on my screen, the better my video does. There you go, there's a Snorlax. I've been tempted to break Garbage Pail Kids, but I just don't think I have enough people, you know? No, it wasn't a holo. I got you, Dennis. Oyster. Hang on one second before I pick any more up. I'm going to, Hey, Danny. I'm starting to get a little chilly in here again. Oh. Well, I've already talked to Tony, so we're gonna set up a time for me to give her all the paperwork and stuff. Hey, Nick. Danny's on, Nick's on. Huh. Really? Sorry, guys. Tired. Skip that one. I know, it's like shift change. Well, seeing as this is a Pokemon break, it might end up watching now that my kids know I'm breaking Pokemon. I have a knot under my left shoulder blade that's just killing me. Do it again. Why do I keep doing that? Keep putting ones that aren't supposed to be top loaded. Top loader. I might have to switch to Inferno, Dennis. Y'all make it sound like rough weeks are a rare occurrence. This is a normal week for, well, for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Yeah, Dennis. I've got Black Label right now. Well, I actually, My problem is not I need to detox from the coffee, because I've only, ever since I got it, I've only had two very small. I don't make a full cup of it. I make like a third of a cup and then make regular coffee for the rest of the cup. So, but the problem is I have a big crash coming at some point, because couple weeks of 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night catches up to you. Look, I made a half. No, yeah. No, it was a third. I made a third cup this morning, and I've actually nursed it all day. I still have some sitting here in the cup, but Indeed. All right, Scott. Have a good night, hon. Hope tomorrow is better, and hopefully we see you tomorrow, okay? Alright, I'm waiting for that inevitable, not caffeine crash, because that won't happen. But the, okay, I've done all the moving I can do, I've done all the other measures I can do, and my body just goes, alright, you're crashing no matter what. It's coming. I think part of the getting shipping out early was actually not only switching days, but I didn't have any cards. Horrible as that sounds. I didn't have any cards to sort. Usually the longest processing of my shipping. I don't know why I keep top loading. I'm sorry, Indy. I keep top loading the darn follows instead of stars. Tired. Fudge. Yeah, I know, I'm a sick puppy. I like Breaking Gypsy Queen. I love Gypsy Queen because there's I've gotten better. The first one I ever did, I missed so many missing nameplates and shield variations and all that funness. This last one was fun. Yeah, Moose is actually our oldest that's on the spectrum. Move these. The stack is getting a little precarious here. I don't want it toppling over. Actually, I had them both in here asking to penny sleeve all your Pokemon cards from last night, and I was like, I don't know. So. Again, I'm a sick puppy when it comes to Gypsy Queen. I love it. I love doing cases of Gypsy Queen. It takes a while and it's tedious, but I have a fun time doing it, so to me it goes, even though it takes a while. I think it took us an hour to break that case, or like an hour and a half. Wait, hang on, it was a full case. No, it took us almost 3 hours, I think. The first time I did Gypsy Queen. And so yeah, 3.5 hours. But dude, I was content as ever to do it. I think I could do it and not mess up in less than 3 hours this time. Because ever since then, I've only got to do a couple boxes here and there, half case. So. And I don't usually do baseball cards because Joe at Card Warehouse does baseball cards. And, you know, that's kind of his thing. Between the three of us, between Joe, Ben, and I, we all seem to have our niche. And so therefore I'm pretty sure we're kind of on the don't step on each other's niche. You know, I do memorabilia and the oddball stuff, comics. I know Joe does baseball. Ben does hockey. I don't watch. Smash watches Ben a lot and gets into his breaks, but I don't get into breaks anymore. I break. I don't get into breaks. I save all that luck for you guys. So. Okay, well, if you're okay with them sleeving, it would do me a lot of good, help-wise, to have them penny sleeve your bases. I know! Ted is back! I'm so tickled! Only that jerk monkey would answer the phone. Hey look, last time it took us over an hour to do a box of Pokemon. Tonight, we're doing a bit better. No offense, tonight I actually know what I'm looking for. Wow, Buffett. We have two on the spectrum, both boys. What's funny is both boys are lefties as well. So, but we have two boys on the spectrum, and it's funny because they are on such different ends of the spectrum, and so different. Moose is calm, quiet. Now, when he does get mad and he reaches his point where he's overloaded, he will not physically explode. There's a couple times where he's lashed out at his sister, I'll admit. But he reaches his point where he's almost in tears, and he's on the get away from me. And he tries to warn people, you know, get away from me or I'm going to lose my temper. But he's our calm, quiet, organized, semi-OCD kid. He does have a few, like, textile things. It's taken a very long time to get him to that point, though. It's been a lot of hard work for the last few years to really get him to be able to say something. Dominic is 5. He's more on the extreme side of the spectrum. Tornado. I keep top loading those. You have to tell him in advance. He kind of has a schedule. Sometimes he'll let you be loosey-goosey with it, but other times he wants his schedule the way it is. He's OCD. He likes to line things up. He likes colors and numbers. Oh my god. I don't think I've told that story in here, have I? So, Dominic tunes the world out. He really does. Things have to be his way, and if everybody else is not on his train, he tunes it out. Well, he was playing with a battery, a little AAA battery. And, I told him many times, you need to put it away because I didn't want the 2-year-old. She sticks everything in her mouth. Doesn't have a binky, doesn't suck her thumb, nothing like that. Well, I take that back. She has a rag that I have to wash like daily that she chews on. But anything she picks up, it's right in the mouth. So I told him, I said, please put the battery back because I don't want Brooklyn to eat it. And he didn't listen, and he didn't listen. I told him multiple times. But he was at the top of the stairs playing with his battery, and she was at the bottom. And we have a railing, and I could reach through to the steps. Well, he drops the battery down the stairs where she's at. It bounces down the steps. And he turned his head, and I reached down and I grabbed the battery very quickly. Well, she reaches down and grabs a piece of cereal on the steps that he can't see and shoves it in her mouth. He saw that. He didn't see the piece of cereal. He just saw her put something in her mouth after he dropped the battery. So he comes bolting down the stairs and screaming at his 2-year-old sister. She's on her way up the stairs. And all of a sudden, he's blocking her. He is trying so hard and screaming so loud. He's trying to pry her mouth open. And he is screaming, Brooklyn ate the battery. Brooklyn ate the battery. Spit it out. Just trying so hard. She's trying to get up the stairs. Next thing I know, and I'm letting this go on because I know I've got the battery saved in my pocket. Next thing I know, she has him lying on his back and her hands around her hands around his throat, shaking him back and forth, going, I just want my bunny. So she was heading up the stairs to go get her bunny that she carries everywhere with her. He was blocking the way, trying to get the battery he thought she put in her mouth. It was hilarious because she said it very clearly, I want my bunny. She has shaken the tar out of him. He's screaming and crying, upset, thinking that she swallowed the battery. Just a whole mess. And I wish I could have had a camera because it was so funny. Finally got her to let him go. She went upstairs, got her bunny. He was so upset for about 20 minutes of Brooklyn ate the battery. There you go. There's a Snorlax for you, Indy. So yeah, 20 minutes solid. He was just devastated and so worried. He kept checking on her and he kept telling her, you don't eat things. And oh yeah. But now he doesn't touch the batteries. Or at least if he does, he gets the baggie out and not just one battery. Broke his little heart. That's the time my 2-year-old kicked her 5-year-old brother's butt because he wouldn't move so she could get her bunny. I want my bunny. It's so funny. It was almost cartoonish in the way it was happening. And then we got our 2 boys. And then you've got our daughter, Bug. Now, I love Bug. I really do. She's my oldest girl. Big heart. That child is a close running second for the kid that drives me the most crazy. She is the messiest, most unorganized, I don't want to say slob because she's not really, I mean, like she eats and she wears it all over her face. But you never see her like smeared all over her face. She thoroughly enjoys her food. Her room is always a disaster. Her clothes are everywhere. But if I had to pick a kid that would go to bat for their sibling, she would be it. Until you give her a stack of football cards and then she becomes, yeah, then she's OCD. But Dominic got into this phase where he would punch her and kick her and stuff. And I always grew up in a confusing childhood because I was the oldest grandkid. So when the little ones would pick on me, my mom would always tell me, well, hit them back. But everybody else in the family would be like, don't you do that. You're the oldest. You set an example. So confusing. Oh. Dominic would beat the tar out of Kimberly. And we would tell her, hey, he's smaller. He processes things differently. Don't hit him back. So one day he went into her room and was beating the living daylights out of her, and she had had enough. She had absolutely had enough. And we hear him scream, and we hear him crying. So I came around the corner, and she has that boy pinned on the ground. Absolutely pinned. Like, she is laying across him. She's not hurting him. She is laying across him all the way. And she looks up at me and goes, "I didn't hit him." I was like, all right, you're correct. You did not hit him. So she didn't even get out. I didn't even get in trouble. Now he's big enough. He understands more. He knows better. It's gotten to where, okay, now you can start sticking up for yourself, you know? But, he's realized that he hits and it hurts, and Sissy's allowed to hit back. So he's actually gotten to where he stops hitting her. Now, the other child, my mini-me, the 2-year-old, you're gonna love this. She was sitting watching cartoons. She was sitting next to Dominic, the 5-year-old. And all of a sudden, without any prompt or reason, he gets mad and doesn't want her sitting there anymore. So he reaches up and he hits her. Now, instead of crying or hitting back or anything like that, she just kind of looks at him like, "Did you really just hit me?" So he gets in trouble and he goes up to his room for timeout. And, of course, gets disciplined. And I come back downstairs. He had gotten this car for Christmas that has over-exaggerated screws, very easy to put together for his age. Kind of a learning toy. He loves it. He constantly takes it apart and puts it together. So I come downstairs, and the 2-year-old has disassembled the car and is systematically shoving Cocoa Puffs in every hole that she can find. And so I looked at her and I said, "Brooklyn, what are you doing?" And she says, "Damo's car." I said, "I know that's Damo's car. What are you doing?" "I fix it." Okay. So I left her to it. He came downstairs sometime later, and he saw his car, and he just, "What happened?" and just melted down. I look over, and she is watching him. She's not like smiling or anything sadistic like that, but she's just watching this whole thing go down. Like, "You hit me, I stuff your car." So, after his meltdown, he takes and he cleans the entire car out. He gets all the Cocoa Puffs out. And he tells her, you know, not nice, and day progresses. You know, he goes off and plays somewhere else. Well, as soon as he's away from that car, you want to guess who went back to the car, took it back apart, and shoved Cocoa Puffs in it again? So she not only did it once, she did it twice. But I'll tell you what, after that, he hasn't hit her, and she hasn't touched his car. So, I'm a little worried. Because one, she's 2. And she knew what toy to go after. It's the toy he was always playing with. And she knew how to sabotage it without breaking it. And then she watched the end result. And then did it again. So, I'm a little concerned. And I'm very impressed. I think I'm more impressed than I am concerned, though. You know, my other kids, I don't worry about. Well, I worry my oldest son's gonna get his heart broken with his first girlfriend. He's gonna fall madly in love, and she's gonna walk all over him. I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen. He's got that big of a heart. My daughter, on the other hand, is gonna con some poor schmo at some point. And I'm gonna have to try to save that poor sap, because he's gonna call me and go, what in the world? Dominic, I will be happy to keep in school and keep out of jail. At least till he gets to college and becomes a frat president, then he's on his own. Brooklyn, on the other hand, is gonna be some spy, espionage, con person, with the potential of me having to go into, undercover witness protection or something, because she snuck something on somebody. So, and it's so funny. I know I don't really talk about them too often, and I'm kind of rambling. I'm doing it to stay awake. I'm sorry. Thank you. Ponytail is a last resort, trust me. Ooh, there you go. Lapras. But it is definitely interesting to see how all 4 kids are so different. So different. Hang on. $202. There were 3 Brooks. I love it. Pretty sure at least one of my children is gonna live in my basement. Then it's gonna be a failure to launch situation. Give me a sec, I'll find that rainbow to show you again, Indy. So we are almost done here. Alright. I'm sorry you didn't like that music. Ears are standing. Oh my goodness, she's gonna have shepherd ears. I love it. Oh, crap. That was the stack the rainbow was in. Alright. Rainbow! We made it! Need the Mario music. Yeah, 205 of 202. Yeah, I've done 2 boxes. You said you did 2 as well, so I don't know, man. We still got potential for a gold somewhere. Oh, live screen.